So I've made north of $100 million using YouTube as my primary source of traffic. I've been on YouTube for over 9 years at this point, posted more than 437 videos, gained over 5.3 million subscribers, and amassed over 173 million views just on my main channel. Now, the general consensus is that was just luck, that I posted consistently, I spoke about things that people were interested in, and then I magically just woke up with 5 million subscribers. And to put it bluntly, that is complete and utter I am a student of the YouTube game. And my team and I have tested and explored every YouTube hack imaginable. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you a bulletproof system that my team and I use to grow my main channel as well as all my other secondary channels. And ultimately, because of that, make a lot of money in the process, completely passively. Now this process is called rehashing. And rehashing is when you take a video that's already been posted and you change the thumbnail to a different variation of the original in an attempt to optimize the performance of the video. And really the goal here is to improve the video's CTR, get more views, and ultimately gain more subscribers. Now, this is a strategy that we teach all of our founders and CEO inside of my exclusive licensing program, 8-Figure License. And you can see over my shoulder, this is just literally one of hundreds of different Miro boards, SOPs, templates that we actually give all of our clients. We try to create as much of a plug-and-play system. So if you want to become a client of ours at 8-Figure License and basically just get access to all of our templates, SOP, like basically just everything that we use to run multiple 8-figure businesses, go ahead and use the first link in the description to book in a call with one of our business advisors. Now, the reason this is so powerful is because it helps our clients basically just stop relying on ads as their main client acquisition channel and utilize the negative cost of acquisition strategy that we use on YouTube. You gotta remember, I've brought in almost $100 million through YouTube as my main source of traffic, but then YouTube itself has paid me millions of dollars along the year in AdSense. So when you have a negative cost of acquisition, it's like the holy grail of business. Like it bends all rules of business. So as I said, if you're currently making more than $250,000 a year with your business, but you're constantly relying on cost-intensive acquisition strategies, well then this video is for you. This is how I grow my channel completely passively through a simple optimization process. So grab a pen and paper and let me show you the exact strategy that I use. Now, I know that a lot of you watching may be making a great amount of money, but you may not have the understanding I have of YouTube and how it actually works. And you might be thinking, okay, like what's the big deal here? I mean, we're just talking about thumbnails. Well, yes, but this is why understanding the algorithm is so crucial. Because I have such a deep understanding of the algorithm, I'm able to bend it, twist it, and really just make it work for me and my business. You have to remember that YouTube really uses 2 metrics to measure if your video should be pushed to a wider audience or not. The first one is session watch time, but your thumbnails don't really have much of an effect on this metric. However, the second is CTR, click-through rate. This measures the number of people who click on your video when it's displayed to them. The more people who click on your video, the higher the click-through rate. Now, what is the number one thing that draws you to click on a YouTube video? Obviously, it's the thumbnail. If you have a thumbnail that grabs viewer attention, the more viewers will click and watch your videos. And this means that your thumbnails play a massive role in the performance of your videos, and this is why you need to focus on this and get it right. And the craziest part is that this is even if it's months or sometimes even years after the video was originally posted. In a few minutes, I'm gonna show you the exact method we use to test new thumbnails on an ongoing basis. But first, you need to understand the difference between good thumbnails and bad ones. Because obviously this system isn't gonna work if you're testing one thumbnail against another thumbnail. So basically there's a few key elements you need to look at. Now let's actually look at 2 thumbnails, one that's top tier and made by my internal team, and the other one that's just pretty mediocre and meh. All right, so we'll take this first thumbnail on the left. You can see that it's got bad execution. It's not really visually appealing. You've got the wrong color selection as well as element sizes. There's no design hierarchy. There's no habits in action, and it doesn't really match the video's title and content. Then you've got one on the right. Now, the cool thing about this is that it shows a before and after, and it adds a level of relatability. Both sides are also mid-action, and you've also got familiarity. You have icons that are tied directly with productivity, such as Notion. Anytime someone sees Notion on YouTube, they instantly think, okay, cool, productivity video. It's relatable because a vast majority are suffering from distractions, which we eliminate with the before image, basically putting your phone away. And then you've got the promise on the other side of it, which is productive habit, journaling, focus. So basically in one thumbnail, it basically tells you what the transformation that you should get after you watch the video is, which is going from this to this. And if you use another example, you can see that the one on the left, it's too busy. There's a lot going on. There's no clarity. There's no habits in action as well. It's a very weird frame that we're using. I'm kind of like combing my hair over, like it's just it doesn't really make sense. You have unfamiliar icons as well. So I guess the main takeaways here is that, first of all, the thumbnail really isn't digestible in 3 seconds. Therefore, the viewer doesn't understand what the video is about. It's like they would have to look at the thumbnail and be like, okay, what action is he taking? Like, what's this comb over hair thing? What icons are there? How does that relate to the title? Whereas if we look at the other one, you can see that, first of all, it's visually appealing. Like the colors, all of it just looks very, just kind of pops and stands out. You can see I'm in deep focus mode. The habit's also mid-action, like I'm in the middle of doing something. It's relatable and it's just very digestible as it matches the title nicely. And even just if you look at what's going on with the calendar, obviously people see calendar, they think, okay, organization, focus, sticking to a schedule. So those are really the associations that come out of it straight away. All right, so now that you understand why thumbnails play such an important role and you actually understand the difference between a good one and a bad one, I want to get into the real sauce of the video, which is my rehashing process. Now, just to iterate what the purpose of rehashing is the process of testing 2 thumbnails against another. So I guess let's say if we take this into advertising perspective, I touched a little bit on what makes a good creative. Now, if you want me to go into even more detailed video of like genuinely the step-by-step process of how to make a good thumbnail, I don't expect you as a multi-6-figure, multi-7-figure, or maybe even an 8-figure business owner to sit there and do all your own thumbnails. I definitely don't. But if you want a bit more of a sort of high-level training of how to make good thumbnails, I could even get my team to do like a walkthrough of them creating a thumbnail for one of my YouTube videos. Just let me know in the comments section in the description, and then maybe you can even send it to your team or whatever. If we were running ads, I just touched a little bit on the creative. Now, what we're talking about here with the rehashing process, this is a little bit more of how do you structure your ad campaigns if we were talking about the whole ad world. So what we're doing here with the rehashing is we're basically doing A/B split testing. So this process really allows you to test in real time to see whether the new thumbnail will increase the performance of the video. Now, if the outcome of the test shows that it does, you then replace the original thumbnail, the performance of the video increases, you get more views and subscribers, and ultimately you make more sales and more money in the long run. And all of this is done without recording any new content. This is why I'm so confident on the main channel. Even if I didn't upload for a whole year, I guarantee I would still grow 500,000 subscribers minimum in a year, simply because every single day we're doing rehashes. We're going back to old videos, rehashing the title, rehashing the thumbnail, primarily the thumbnail, but doing these rehashes where we have videos from 3 years popping off again. So honestly, that's such like a liberating feeling to know that like I could genuinely step away and move away from content and just take a break for a couple months and know that the channel will still grow and still reach a new audience. Now, to make this as valuable for you as humanly possible, I'm going to start at the very beginning to show you exactly how you should start and run your rehashing process. Now, the one and only tool that you will need is a tool that my team and I have been using for our rehashing process for like the last 3 years. The tool is called TubeBuddy. So you can go ahead and create an account and then sign up for the Legend package. The reason you need the Legend package is because that is a package you need in order to run thumbnail CTR A/B tests. Now, once you have your account, you'll click A/B test, and then you'll select the first video you want to rehash. And this is where it becomes case dependent. There will be some of you who have done YouTube for a while, and you're going to have this massive bank of content, just like I do. On the other side of the spectrum, maybe some of you guys are just starting out. You're just uploading your first few videos. And if you're doing that, it's a very easy process in the early stages. You always want to let a video sit and gather some data for the first 10 to 14 days, because this really allows the video to perform using the original packaging before you start to test and change things. Now, once 14 days passes, you can then start the rehashing process to optimize performance. For those of you that have a bigger bank of content and you're unsure of which videos to start rehashing first, here's what I recommend you do. You should jump to your YouTube analytics and then filter for most viewed in the last 28 days. When you start rehashing, look for videos that are performing best, but if your channel is like mine, where everything is performing at a pretty consistent level, you can actually use rehashing as a way to change the look and feel of your channel. Basically, keeping the thumbnail style consistent throughout. So if you look at someone like Daniel Dalen, the aesthetic of his channel is pretty consistent with his whole like POV thumbnail style. And you actually have the opportunity to do this in your own unique way while you rehash for performance. And this is something to consider. The video you choose to rehash may not be a performance-driven decision every week. It may actually be a style-driven decision where you just don't like the way that certain videos look on your channel. So maybe in that instance, you don't even really care too much if the performance of the channel grows, or the performance of the video, I should say. You just want it to look more in line with your current brand strategy. But if you do choose based on performance, you want to look at the following metrics: CTR CTR versus the number of views a video has, and the total watch time versus the average duration of the video. So you want to select a video with a decent duration, high watch time, and low CTR. This basically tells you that the video is interesting enough to watch, but not enough people are clicking on the video. And this clearly shows that the thumbnail is underperforming. So if you can increase the CTR with a new thumbnail, the video will then perform exponentially better because you know from the data that the video is interesting. The next step is deciding which test to run. Now, TubeBuddy actually allows you to run two types of A/B tests. The one test is a metadata test, which basically allows you to test titles, descriptions, and tags of your videos. Now, this is another rabbit hole of testing that my team and I help with a conglomerate of businesses inside of 8-figure license. That's like a whole rabbit hole that I'm not going to discuss in today's video. But for today's video, what I really want to talk about is the second option, which is the thumbnail CTR test. You see, once you select the thumbnail CTR option, there are really two ways that you can test your thumbnails. You can use the statistically significant test, which basically tests the thumbnail until there is a significant winner. Now, by the way, this is a test that I wouldn't recommend if you have less than 50,000 subscribers, because to be honest, there just won't be enough data for TubeBuddy to work with, and the test is gonna run for months, which is, to be honest, not what you want. Now, on my other channels, obviously I could use this test, but even still, I don't tend to use it. What I recommend is to use the custom time test and suggest running the test for 2 weeks. The last step is to select a new thumbnail you would like to test, and then you can start it from there. So TubeBuddy will now change the thumbnail every 24 hours and collect data on both thumbnails for the duration of the 2-week period. Now, once the test runs its course, you can then navigate to the Manage Test section, and TubeBuddy will present you with the results and will even select the winner. The data TubeBuddy will show includes CTR, watch time per impression, engagement rate, as well as a few others. And as you can see, the setup and running of the actual tests are pretty simple. As long as you have a variation thumbnail ready to go, the test can pretty much be set up within minutes. And then it's just a 2-week waiting period to see the results. Now, the part of the rehashing that actually takes a bit longer is the tracking. Now, we have an internal template that we use that basically takes this whole rehashing process to a whole nother level. Now, of course, we track the obvious metrics such as CTR and watch time that TubeBuddy gives us, but our tracking sheet includes data like view count, viewers gained, 14-day average views, as well as subscribers gained. Now, this allows us to make informed decisions even when the variation in CTR is insignificant. So if you're serious about building a negative cost of acquisition funnel in your business with the power of my YouTube strategy, and you believe my rehashing process is something that can actually help you achieve that, well then in that case, my team and I actually share all of our tracking templates, backend systems, all of the wizard hacks that we've built over the years. And we actually share that with all the CEOs and founders inside of 8-figure license. Now, not only do we share our templates, but we also have in-depth training to show you how we track this data, which has led to my success on YouTube. So if you want to emulate my strategies regardless of the business you're in, I will leave a link below so that way you can book a demo call with my team. Now, full disclosure, we don't work with businesses or individuals making less than $250,000 a year. We don't work with any Forex or crypto or trading companies. We don't work with anyone in the webcam and OnlyFans industry. And this should go without saying, we don't work with any pricks. And the most important thing is that we don't work with people we can't help. And that's why my team will just tell you honestly on the demo call if that's the case. So I hope this video has been valuable to you guys. I really just want to scratch the surface here about this strategy that we've used to gain 5 million subscribers in the last 3 years, and really just get to a point where I don't even really need to upload videos for months on end, and we would still easily grow 500,000 subscribers a year onwards. So hope this has been useful to you, and I'll speak to you soon.